What's happening, guys? Welcome to Let's Talk Comics, and tonight I would like to talk about Planet She-Hulk. This was a series that was spun out of the Jonathan Hickman miniseries event, whatever you want to call it, Imperial, which was basically a Cosmic Marvel storyline, and that storyline or miniseries or event, ever how you want to phrase it, was launched to spin off a handful of Cosmic Marvel books, one of them being Planet She-Hulk by Stephanie Phillips. But sadly, it only got 6 issues before it ended up getting canceled or ended, or however you want to say it. And I read 1 through 6 just today. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed what I read, and I was kind of disappointed knowing that there was not going to be any more of this book coming out, because I really enjoyed it. I read the previous, and I didn't hear a lot of people talking about this book, and I think that's because the previous 2 She-Hulk books by Rainbow Rowell, I believe that's how her last name is pronounced. She did 2 really good She-Hulk runs. I enjoyed both of them. They were very slice of life books. They were very much about She-Hulk and her personal life and her relationships. It was not a lot of superheroics. It was not a lot of, there was some action, of course, because, that's to be expected. But there was really a lot of relationship dynamics between her and her friends, her and Jack of Hearts, who she was dating. So it was a really, really cool mini-series, or two series, I guess you would say. And this is the one that immediately followed it. And it did not have as much slice of life stuff in it. And I think the She-Hulk fans kind of looked down their nose on it and didn't give it the shot that I think it deserved to get. Basically, the gist of this story, as we'll see right here in the opening, Jennifer Walters, she's back, but she's stuck on Skaar after making a promise to her cousin Bruce to watch over the planet and its people while he deals with trouble off-world. She is in charge of keeping the peace on a planet at war. Can she keep law and order, or will she be forced to smash it into submission? So basically what we have here is Hulk wants She-Hulk, his cousin, to play sheriff on Skaar while he is gone. For those of you who don't know, Skaar is a planet that the Hulk got exiled to, essentially, when the Illuminati, some of the more powerful and experienced heroes on Earth, decided that Bruce Banner was too dangerous to exist on Earth anymore. They shot him in outer space. He crash landed on Skaar, which is like a, gladiator-style planet, and he ended up taking control of the planet, so to speak. So in Imperial, he has to go back to Skaar, and he gets Jennifer to basically be sheriff on the planet while he is attending to other cosmic events or whatever. And Skaar is a planet of, there's gladiators, there's different kingdoms, there's kings, there's factions, there's cults, there's magic, there's science, it's a lot of everything. And so really what we have here is, because Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, is a lawyer, she is basically stuck on this planet where, there is no trial. All trial is by combat. There are no laws, might makes right, etc. But Stephanie Phillips, she really addresses, and this is the opening page right here, and it's really cool. You know, you have her in barbarian gear carrying this big honking sword, and she's in a coliseum right now fighting this dragon type thing or whatever. So a really cool opening double page spread here by Aaron Kuder, who is Kuder, who is kind of the main artist for these 6 issues. I think he does 4 of the issues, and there's someone that does the other 2 whose name escapes me right now. So basically, you have She-Hulk, who is a lawyer who's used to trials and laws, and you know, her dilemma is she is on this planet where everything is essentially might makes right. I want you to, you know, the Hulk tells her, I want you to take care of this place, make sure things don't go to shit while I'm gone, so to speak. And he tells her that, you know, you're only going to have to stay here for 5 days, and that ends up turning into like a month or whatever. And so we see her right here in these first couple panels. She's breaking up all these fights. She's stopping all these battles, these assassinations or whatever. But I'm not going to really go that deep into all of it. It really, like I said, it was more of, I'm kind of trying to think how I want to say this. Stephanie Phillips has She-Hulk as a fish out of water here, and she's having to navigate and play all these politics. She has to learn the system of Skaar. She has to learn, you know, to play the game, who has what power, who controls what faction. And so she really had She-Hulk as like a fish out of water, so to speak. And one of the things that we did get in this series that we did not get in the previous Rainbow Royale is we do get some fourth wall breaking, not as much as like the John Byrne type deal, but we do get some of it. And so that is something that's very familiar to She-Hulk fans. But I really enjoyed, to get back to what I thought about the story, I really enjoyed the things that Stephanie Phillips was doing, introducing the cast of characters, the supporting characters and everything. See, this is the person here who fills in. Emilio Lazio fills in for 2 issues. And I thought Stephanie Phillips was doing a really good job on putting her own take on She-Hulk. You know, not kind of like having somewhere in the middle where it's slice of life. She's juggling her relationship, but also you have the superheroics, the adventuring. And I feel like Stephanie Phillips was putting the best of both worlds together. See, here we have her run back into Jack of Hearts, who was her previous boyfriend in the previous run. But then, as we get, just as things were kind of starting to take off here in issue number 4, I guess this is when Stephanie Phillips was informed that the book was ending. Because things really start to happen fast in this book. Situations start to resolve themselves pretty quickly. And then we have, see, this is the most interesting part right here. This is at the very end. This is the very last page of issue 5. My blade is with you, Queen She-Hulk. These people swear their allegiance. These are like rebel. It's like a rebel faction. They swear their allegiance to She-Hulk. And then this is the wrap up of issue 5. And then issue number 6 starts. And it opens up with her waking up, having to get to court. To defend who we see is the Rhino. She's defending the Rhino in court. And there's no mention of anything that happened on Scar. So it starts off very, who killed Bobby in the shower, who killed JR or whatever. Or like, the ending of Newhart where he wakes up and it was all a dream. It very much starts off like that. Then we start to see characters from Scar appear, and She-Hulk has no idea who any of these people are. And then she says right here, she goes, I felt deja vu before, but I've never had the feeling of a memory shoot through my brain like a dagger. So she has some sort of memory about Scar, kind of jarred to the front of her mind by meeting this person here. And then we have more conversation about what was going on Scar. She says, I need answers. So really, in this issue here, and like this is like all you find out a whole lot about what was going to happen, what plans Stephanie Phillips had for She-Hulk, for Jack of Hearts. Then you have like this recap of a battle that looked like it was going to be awesome. She-Hulk's jumping around with a sword. There's fighting. There's explosions. Everything looks so badass. And then we see right here, she says, you earned the throne, She-Hulk. So we see that like She-Hulk actually becomes the ruler of Scar. And then she turns it down and says, no, we're going to make it be like a democracy or whatever. And then it's just so weird. It's so weird because we get all these like, we get all these storylines. We get all these plot points that were going to happen, but they're all just told through recap over pizza at a restaurant. So it's kind of disappointing, and I feel like Stephanie Phillips, she handles it as best as she could, knowing that everything was ending before she wanted it to end. And she ties up the loose ends, the best of her ability. And see, this is very cool right here. This is very She-Hulk, fourth wall breaking. I managed to end this story with enough of a cliffhanger to make readers want to see just what She-Hulk and her new roommates do next. All in a day's work. The end with a question mark. So... But they are going to be they have a trade paperback coming out of these 6 issues. Supposed to be coming out, I believe it's sometime next month. So maybe if enough people pick up the trade paperback, if sales are good, maybe we will get a chance to see Stephanie Phillips come back and revisit Planet She-Hulk and these characters, whether it be through a one-shot or another miniseries or ongoing. But... my thoughts are really just, I think this could have been something really cool that could have ran for a while. And it really just makes me enjoy Stephanie Phillips' work that much more, that she was able to tell a story that is, cohesive as it is in only 6 issues. And one of those is insanely abbreviated. So, but, although I wish this book would have ran longer, I enjoyed what we got. And I just have my fingers crossed, and I hope we get more. Because I'm a big She-Hulk fan, and with Daredevil, I'm a really big Stephanie Phillips fan. And I would like to see them two back together again. But that is Planet She-Hulk. If you want some She-Hulk that is not as slapsticky and as full fourth wall breaks as like the John Byrne stuff was, then check this out. But just don't expect it. Just check this out with the understanding that you're only going to get 6 issues, and then that's all there is. But if you really like it, sales on the trade paperback, if they're high enough, because money is the only thing that talks to these people, maybe we'll get more. But that is Planet She-Hulk, gone far too soon. So till next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.